Why, hello. How goes it? How goes it, everybody? Hope you're having a great day or night or whatever it is. This is a Flowcat stream. Welcome to the Flowcat stream. Got all my lights on. It seems a little dark though. I need to get curtains for the outside windows. My lighting changes as the weather changes. Then I have to adjust my lighting to compensate, which is like fine. It's not a big deal. It's whatever. But I'm here, you're here. It's great. I've had a pretty chill day today. I sat outside, enjoyed some weather, except then I like saw like a hornet at one point, and then it kind of flew away. And I was like, whatever. Like it's like fall time, right? Like it's getting that time of year where hornets like are done with their whatever. Like I think there's some point in the fall hornets like leave their nests and they just go out, like the males, and they just go out and die or whatever. And I think it's after like I don't know what it is. Something happens in fall. So there's a lot of hornets. Like I've seen like several yellow jackets. We had this one called a paper hornet that got into the house. And then the one I saw earlier was like, it was like orange and red and big. It was very big. And I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. So it looked at me angrily. Like it flew away that one time, then later it came back and like landed on my balcony fence thing railing, and it just stared at me angrily, and I just kind of like, cicada killer. You know, that's actually a good point, because you know that might have been it, because recently we had a bunch of cicadas hatch. You could hear them all over the place. It was very loud. Not the loudest or the worst cicada. You know, what are they called? There's like I don't know, for the group of cicada, they like all live together, and then they come out of the ground at the same time. There's like a name for the group of cicadas. Well, hey Bongo. Freddy wants dinner, and he has to wait like an hour. Like it's at least an hour till dinner, and he's already acting like he's starving. Like he does this thing where he starts begging, where he'll sit there and just scream at me, meow, 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 over and over. And then if I start moving towards the direction of his food bowl, he will like get all excited and start following me until like, you know, because he thinks it's awful. And if I like stop moving towards the food bowl, he'll be like, meow, meow, meow. And it's like, bro, right now he's just trying to get attention from me. I'm petting him, but he doesn't want the pets. He wants food. And so he's like dealing with it, but he's kind of like, I'm going to call him a brood. That sounds right. I think I think that's accurate. He tries to herd me. Yeah, he does. He tries to lead me to the food bowl. And so what I do, and this is really smart. Like if you have cats or animals at all, you know, don't feed them when they're begging. You got to make sure that like I wait until you know, Freddy chills out and stops begging, and then I'll go feed him. Like even if it's time to feed him, I will wait until he stops begging me, and then I'll go feed him, because it like you don't want to accidentally reinforce the idea that the begging is working. Punchella research brood is correct. Yeah, I think that is right, because there's like a 7-year brood, there's like 9-year, 15-year, like they sit underground for different periods of time, and the longer they sit, the bigger they are, and the more of them there are, I think. Because I've had in my lifetime like one 15-year brood, I think. Maybe I've seen 2, and they're disgusting. They're like 2, 3, 4-inch long cicada, like, well, 4 inches, I don't know if that's exact. That might be a little excessive, but definitely 2 to 3 inches at least. And they're nasty, and they're full of like goop and gross crap. So cars start running over them like crazy. Like there's so many of them, they just like get all over the roads, and like it's just this nasty smell of like all the dead mashed up cicadas, because they're really dumb too. Like they're not intelligent beings, so when they're super big like that, they kind of just throw themselves into danger constantly. And it's great. I remember the 15-year one because I did not want to go outside. I remember for weeks afterwards, you would see the occasional cicada that's just like got like an ounce of life left in it. It's just like sitting there twitching, and you're like, ugh. Yeah, nasty. Once I was camping, I was actually out at an event because I do the fire performance stuff, the fire spinning stuff, and we often have, there's events that you can go to where they're in the woods, and you camp and you hang out and you do the stuffs, and there was a brood underneath us, and I guess the activity from us must have caused them to spawn, because they like crawled up our tents and like, what, I don't know what it's called, hatched out of their shell, malted out of their shell, whatever. Like in the middle of the night, we were just sitting there, and like then all these grubs start popping up out of the ground, and we're like, and then they start climbing on the tents, and I'm like, oh no. And it was pretty funny. They caused mayhem for the rest of the event. Good times. Different species have different hibernation periods that don't overlap. So over a year long. Huh. Yeah. The different species are probably just the different incubation times or whatever. But it's kind of crazy that there's like multiple different species of, you know what I mean? Like I know there's different kinds of cicadas because I played Animal Crossing. So like cicadas, there's all sorts of different kinds of insects. It's just crazy the amount of diversity there is. Like I think for me, when you want to be baffled by the biodiversity of the world, like looking at insects or looking at like fungus or looking at like those kinds of not animals, those kinds of life forms, they're it's really crazy. Fish too. There are a lot of different kinds of crazy fish, all sorts of fishies, because the ocean is like the primordial stew of life. So there's all sorts of nonsense that comes out of that. I like biology. I always like studying biology. It's good subject, you know. Good stuffs. Like, doesn't everybody love watching documentaries about animals? Like animal documentaries? I think those are just like if you don't, then there's just, I don't know what to say to you, but you're wrong. You can see Freddy back there, and he's like, he knows his name, so I won't try to talk about him too much, but he's like annoyed at me. You can see the annoyed on him. He's like, ugh, I really want my food. Like he's not laying in his bed over here because he doesn't want to get comfy and fall asleep. He just wants to sit there and wait for me to like move away from this desk literally at all, so that he can just go and start assaulting me with his meows. You may have mentioned something about this already, but Twitch. Oh, oops, my bad. I always forget. Yeah, I always forget to do that, because like I set them both up beforehand, like the lobbies and all the stuff and the things for that. But then I have to hit this little start button over here at the very bottom of my OBS, and it's just such an easy thing to forget. But yeah, I'll try to be better about that. I'm also trying to be better about stretching out my ears a bit more. Like I got really lazy about my secondary piercings, because like here's the thing about me and piercings. I love having piercings, right? I hate buying piercings. I hate buying anything. I don't like spending money, so I don't like buying a bunch of different kinds of piercings. I like to have just like a couple different pairs that I like to wear. But then there's the inevitable losing of the piercings, right? Like that's just, oh, these are like tilted. Oh no, my septum's crooked. It's still healing, so it's not really gonna ever look good. I like to get the circles anyway, the full circle septum. So as soon as it's healed up enough, I'm gonna swap it out for the one that's like just, it's got like a single ball with the circle, because those are just super nice. Oh, but you lose your piercing, right? You like drop it down the drain or whatever, and you lose it in the woods, or it goes off into Narnia. I don't know. It just vanishes off the face of the earth. So you lose your piercings, and then it's like, well, I guess I'd have to buy more, which is something I hate doing. And so then I just get really lazy about it, and I just, yeah, it's bad. It's bad. The point is I just don't have enough piercings. So yeah. Microorganisms, how you can take a single drop of like standing water. Yeah, like looking at some of the complexity of those microorganisms is really incredible. I saw something recently about these God, what are they called? Bat flies? I think they're called bat flies, and they live on bats, and they're microscopic flies that don't have wings. Like they're so small, and they just live on, like, clinging on to bats, I guess, their whole lives. And so they just don't have wings, but they still have like all the other parts of a fly, just no wings. They're really weird, and it's just kind of interesting how complicated such a small creature can be. And then there's those water bears. I don't know their scientific name, but the water bears, those things are actually kind of cute. Tardigrades, that's what those are. Tardigrades. But yeah, those guys are adorable. It makes me really sad to think about, like, if you're a human, your mere existence is just, you are just slaughtering. Now, not all the time, you know, like sometimes these microorganisms are so small that like we're not even really interacting on a level that affects them. But like, you know, you walk through some grass, you're probably killing something or stomping on something or damaging something. It's just an inevitable part of life. And then, well, that's also like eating too. Like, I mean, you have to eat to live, and that's like the fundamental guilt of life, is that like you got to kill life to live. Sad stuff, man. There's a lot of stuff that you can read about that psychologically and in religion, which is really interesting. I'm rambling a lot. I don't know that anyone cares or that I care. All I know is that we're gonna be pushing some of this MSQ today on Final Fantasy, and my goal is to hit Heavensward. And once we hit Heavensward, I'll be stoked. I will be actually stoked, because, well, after we hit Heavensward, we have to like stop to do the coils and whatnot. Let me make sure Twitch is working. Yeah, it's working. Oh, is it? Hold up. Is my preview just not? Yeah, what's going on here? I just clicked it to check on it, and there's no what? It said start again. Like it unstarted itself. It stopped itself, unstarted itself. Oh my God. Yep. I promise I have a brain that works. All right. Twitch is working. Better stay that way, Twitch. I'll tell you what. There's a specific trial on post AAR which you can start doing to coiled. I just don't want to say which one. Yeah, that's fine. God, my nose is at the point in healing where like it's healed enough, but it's like very itchy. I don't know if anyone gets that. Like when you get a scab or whatever and your skin's healing, it gets like itchy when it's like pretty much almost healed. And also, like I mentioned, like I think I almost got sick a couple days ago. Like I felt like I was getting sick, but now I feel fine. I think it's because on stream yesterday I said that it's literally impossible for me to get sick. It's not. I manifested my immune system to do better, to work better. I do think that actually people underestimate perspective framework for like, oh, for your own health and stuff. There's a lot of science that shows that, like, you know, your mental state is incredibly important for your health in a lot of ways. And like there's even some really interesting studies that show that, like, if someone is a medical authority and you trust them and they say you're going to die, you're more likely to die because you trust their word. Same thing, like in the opposite direction. So there's a specific trial. The issue is that on a purely narrative level, it's best to do before you reach the first quest. There's some narrative points and then also serve on now. Okay, well, see, the thing, that's fine. I don't think I want to actually do Heavensward today. Like, look, let me be frank with you, Remlog, because you're the only person here. My channel, I've been losing attention, like viewership from people and stuff, and I know why. It's because I'm really, like, I stream a lot, but I'm not good at like relevancy or like the way that I can get attention is that I can post discussion videos where I can say my dumb opinions and then people can be like, hey, I like your dumb opinions, or hey, I don't like your dumb opinions, and then people, like, you know, it makes people feel like I'm relevant or whatever. So what I really need to be doing is just making more actual content and streaming, not less, but like I can't, you know, streaming is not gonna make me make it. It's not gonna get me there. I gotta play the game more and all that stuff, but it's just been, you know, I mean I don't want to go into all of it, but you know, I had that one stream where I talked about what I've been kind of going through, and it's just been sort of hard to sit in front of a camera for long periods of time and edit for long periods of time. Like, you got to understand, sort of, like, I don't know, it doesn't really matter if you understand or not, but like, you know what I mean? It's just like I'm just having problems with it. So, but I want to get back to doing more stuff. I don't know. YouTube is this stupid thing where it, like, if you're a small channel, there's this constant pressure that you feel like you're like, man, I suck. I'm not doing nearly enough. I'm just like, I'm a failure channel. Like, I'm a waste of time channel. Like, I'm that channel that's not doing well or whatever. And it gets into your head, and it makes you feel like you need to, like, take serious action. You know what I mean? It's like, oh man, I really need to do something about this. And it's like, but there's only so much that you can do about it. And like, really, like, I have a lot going on in my own life, and as much as I would love to be one of those people that can, like, there's some people that can just dedicate a lot of time to YouTube and streaming and making content all day, and that's fine. But, you know, I do have other things that have been going on and whatnot and stuff and things. So, yeah. So anyway, the point is, the reason I mentioned all that is my channel is not super relevant right now, and I'm about to enter the good parts of the story of Final Fantasy, the parts that everyone wants to see me go through. And so I don't want to, like, go through that right now while no one cares, right? Like, I'll probably hit that part of the story, do the coils and all that fun stuff, and then, like, I'm gonna probably try to make some videos to drum up relevancy, to drum up attention, to get people, like, interested in my stuff, so that when I stream the fun parts of Final Fantasy XIV, the really cool story parts, there are actually people there to watch me do it. And then that'll help make it more fun and stuff and worthwhile and whatnot. Anyway, let's I'm gonna go ahead and get the game going and whatnot. Stop. I've been rambling for too long. Sleepos are a hell of a drug. True. But it's powerful. Like framework is really a big thing. People don't understand that you can I don't know. Mind over matter. You know what I mean? One really interesting study that I saw was, I'm trying to find the freaking, there we go. One really interesting study, so I gotta turn off the music, is that different people, man, if people are at the end of their life, they are less likely to die if they have something that they're looking forward to, like a birthday or like a whatever. But then they're more likely to die after those events have transpired. Uh, my nose, my freaking itchy septum nose. I hit log in. Why you not? Why you not doing the thing? Oh, it's doing the thing. Cool. Logging in. All right. So yeah, I'm just gonna try to push through. Here, I'm actually gonna minimize my stream preview here. I don't wanna be looking at that. I don't be looking at it. No sense. No sense. All right. I have a queue, a very short queue of like 12 people. And I'm in. Oh, I forgot to swap the there we go. I do that. Also, yesterday I thought I doxed my Steam friend list, but I was a smarty pants. And like with Genshin's weird, and you can't do game capture. With Genshin, you have to do like window capture. But yeah, with Final Fantasy, you could do game capture. So I did game capture. So I didn't actually dox my own friend list, which is great. Okay, so with no further ado, I'm jumping straight in because it's just me and one person in the world. So, you know, we're going hard. Captain Ilberd, your report, if you will. I don't know why I just did like a little bit of Irish right there. Hey, Commander. Firstly, with regard to the heretic we captured, I regret to say that the man could tell us not that we did not already know of Shiva. Since we have handed him over to the Ishgardian authorities, henceforth, the Holy See will pursue the matter independently. Interesting. Our inquiries concerning the Ivy, however, have proven more fruitful. We have ascertained the channel by which the heretics acquire their information on the shipments aren't a thing. Shipments are. Go on. You will recall the flame as we first identified as being the Ivy's employee. From him, we were able to trace we were able to trace a trail of conspirators, each taking us closer to his master. Alas, the trail came to an abrupt end. Fearing that the investigation had been compromised, we took the necessary steps detaining all suspected of conspiracy. There were 5 on our list, including a flame stationed at Revenant's Toll. The man's primary duty was to keep an inventory of donations from abroad, the particulars of which he would share with the benefactors, thereby ensuring that needs did not go unfulfilled. By virtue of his role, he was privy to the details of all shipments bound for the settlement. Needless to say, that included those originating from House attempts. He knew the precise route of the caravan would take, and he sold that information to a merchant. I think I can guess which one. None other. With a little encouragement, he soon confessed to knowingly aiding and abetting the heretics. Well, that is one mystery solved at least, but what of the Ivy? Are we any closer to prizing off his mask? I dare say we are, Commander. Our relentless pursuit has forced him to commit a grave error. In a desperate bid to cover his tracks, the Ivy resorted to exercising certain administrative powers available only to high-ranking members of the Immortal Flames. If you consider then that our investigation is known to barely a handful of them, the field of suspects is greatly narrowed. You mean to say that the agent is among Robin's innermost circle? Someone who has been with him since the Immortal Flames establishment? 'Tis the most plausible explanation. The infiltration likely occurred during the company's founding, with the groundwork for the act being laid beforehand. It's still been a position of authority unremarked and remain above suspicion all these years. Hey, I too was surprised, though I really should not have been. Of the three grand companies, Uldaz was ever the more vulnerable to infiltration. Both Limsa, Laminsa, and Gridania had long-standing armed forces that lent themselves well to the formation of the Maelstrom and the Order of the Twin Adder. To all intents and purposes, it was the same people, loyal ones, mind, under the same leadership. Only the banner was different. Not so the Flames. Uldaz military was made up of disparate orders, most of which were glorified mercenary companies that answer only to their own paymasters. Hardly an ideal environment in which to establish something as high-minded as a grand company. The difficulties Raban faced when founding the Immortal Flames are well known. Even after he had convinced his fellow syndicate members to share the cost, there remained the small matter of finding enough bodies to fill the ranks. Indeed, and given the pressing nature of the Imperial threat, that meant recruiting every passing sellsword. Amidst the chaos of its founding, it would have been child's play to infiltrate the company. A good deal easier than now. Aye. The Immortal Flames have ever been caught between conflicting interests, the public and the private. Though the monetarists ultimately agreed to support the organization's founding, 'twas not out of charity that they did so, but simple self-preservation. Had now von Darness's ambitions been any less apocalyptic, you may be sure that they would never have risked supplying Raban with an army. 'Tis but a wonder they did not attempt to extinguish the flames the moment the danger had passed. Returning to the present. Even as we speak, our Duman allies are shadowing several high-ranking flames, any one of whom could be the Ivy. Desiring to deal a blow against the Empire, the refugees were eager to lend us their aid. I expect to hear from them ere long. Very good. Pray continue your investigation with the first. Meanwhile, have the second and attend to the... If they notice anything unusual, I want to know about it. If Shiva is summoned in like manner to other pramals, the heretics will be looking for further supplies. Understood. I shall send word to Sir Amaric, informing him of our success in identifying the heretics abettors. Hopefully the information will be of some use to the Asgardians. It is time, Commander. Yes, I'm aware. An emergency council of the Alliance leadership has been called. There have been developments in Garlemald, it would seem. As commander of the Crystal Braves, my presence has been requested. I would have you accompany me as the realm's stoutest champion. 'Tis only me that you be present for the discussion. Oh, and the antecedent has already given her consent, lest you worry. Nice. That's progress right there. You know, that was, I just did it. We did a whole thing. I mean, now we're going to do more. Like me, you are doubtless eager to conclude our business with Iceheart, but until another path to her sanctum is found, she will remain beyond our reach. Benfilia and the Archons are sparing no effort to secure an alternate route. Until such time as they succeed, I suggest we give some thought to the realm's other problems. I shall go on ahead to Gridania in readiness for the coming council. Meet me at Nofika's altar, and we shall make our way to the Lotus Stand together. Ah, man, tea is so good. I love me some caffeine. I don't know why I did that. I could definitely just use my return spell. Wait, no, that's 4. It's that one. Okay. My thanks for coming. When you are ready, speak with the conjurer yonder. She will show us to the Lotus Stand. Sup? You're not very silent, are you? You're supposed to not say anything, man. Voice acting?
Change has come to the Garlean Empire, and we must discuss the implications.
The rumors are true, then? The War of Succession is ended?
It is. A new emperor reigns in Garlemald.
Who?
The birth and all too rapid expansion of the Garlean Empire is commonly attributed to the strategic brilliance of Solus Zosgalvis, yet he did not rule alone. Several members of the royal household also distinguished themselves during his reign. Nevertheless, it was the eldest son who stood to inherit the throne, until his most untimely passing.
I thought us fortunate when I learned that the Emperor had died without naming a successor.
Would that the Garlean Empire had died with him.
'Twas the grandson and his uncle who had the strongest claims, was it not?
Indeed, yet claims count for little without the power to assert them. High Legatus Varus Ye Galvus is a respected military leader, not so his uncle.
So young Varus has torn the crown from his uncle's grasp and
My
taken
God, those
his place at the
pauldrons.
head of the empire.
Like, they must weigh so much. Well, that guy looks very angry. That's not good. That's probably not very happy. That's probably not a good thing.
Given the troubled nature of his succession, the new emperor will require time to seal his grip on power. Yet have no doubt but that he shall, for there are none left with strength enough to oppose him.
Since the success of Operation Archon, the remnants of the 14th Legion and the forces occupying Alamigo have done naught but fortify their positions.
Exactly, zero villain.
But you can be sure they'll be ready to march on us again, if their emperor gives the word.
Yes, checks out, checks
Well,
out.
not
Seems like a
if-
nice guy.
They say this Varus was so set upon Eorzean annexation that he spoke out against the Meteor Project.
Plainly, the new emperor's intentions are of great concern to us all.
Mm-hmm. Got a lot of concerns floating around.
I propose that we set aside the Cartno dispute for the present, and discuss what measures the Alliance might take to prepare for a resumption of hostilities with Garlemald. Moreover, I move that we re-examine the question of how our former allies in Ishgard might be persuaded to retake their place at our side. Could Eorzea but stand as one, 'twould deal a grave blow to our enemies' ambitions.
Well, I suppose we should be grateful that they have finally acknowledged the inevitability of Imperial attack. Who knows? They may even do something about it. If only the leaders of Ishgard would follow their example and stop hiding behind their gates, praying for the coming storm to pass them by. But that is a discussion for another time. At present, I am more concerned by the fact that the Alliance's mooted preparations will be made known to the Garleans many moons before their coming. So long as the ivy eludes our grasp, no secret is safe.
Gotta love the auto umbrella. Gotta love it. It will not have escaped your notice that the nations of Eorzea are no nearer to being of one purpose, despite their protestations to the contrary. Plainly, the threat of the resurgent Garlemald is not enough to stir them. And the reason for this? Deep-rooted mistrust among the citizenry. The nation's leaders can come to all the understandings they like, but their unity means little and less to the common folk. Take the Lominsons, for instance. Though Admiral Merle sorry, I just don't outlawed piracy over a decade ago, foreigners still picture the nation as a haven for grog-swilling, wooden-legged cutthroats. In likewise, the Gradanians are mocked as hermits who talk to trees, and the Uldans scorned as swindlers who worship corn. Worship coin! Not that such sentiments are entirely without grounds, of course. Take that pillar of Uldan society, Teleji al-Deleji, for example, and that is beside the point. The fact is that people are wary of outsiders, whether they have cause to be or not. On that basis, one could argue that the conflict at Cartano is a necessary evil. Each nation has its own war-mongering faction that advocates the acquisition of Omega. In order to placate them, we present them something resembling warfare, and thereby curb their appetite for full-scale conflict. But enough idle musing. Let us speak of a more pressing matter. The Ivy. Since we spoke at the observatorium, Captain Ilbert has further shortened his list of suspects. And by happy coincidence, the one he deems the most likely candidate is likely come to Gridania. There's lately, you know what I meant. The hunt nears its end. All that remains is to corner our quarry. Seek out Elbert near Adder's Nest. He will give you the particulars. Should there be any developments in Quarthus, you may be sure that I will send word without delay. In the meantime, I wish you success in apprehending the Ivy. Gotta love Seawolf names. Yeah. Gotta love proper nouns in general, you know. There are so many, and we have a great time with them. Are you back to begging? Really? I thought you were done, dude. You got cozy for a while. You got eye boogers. I got him. He gets, like, he'll get a crusty outer booger, and I'll put my thumb on the crusty outer booger, and I'll pull it, and it'll pull all of his eye booger, like, that's like sitting on the inside of his, like, eye pocket thing, all out at the same time. And it's both extremely gross and extremely satisfying at the same time. I don't know what it is about it, but it's like you just get the little crusty bit of eye booger, and you get the whole thing as a prize. I don't know what it is. What's neat is that they're actually composed of a conlung that can be translated if you have the guide. It's even pretty easy to make lore accurate Seawolf names. Oh, that's cool. I like that. I like when languages in fantasy games are not just gobbledygook, like thrown together, you know, for the sake of phonetics. I like when there's actually like some kind of structure to it. My thanks for coming, Scion. Doubtless the commander has informed you, but we have unmasked the Ivy. From this point on, we must proceed with extreme caution. Can't wear any of these, but let me just try it. Oh, that looks super cool. I don't really care about that. The pauldrons. I think I'm just gonna grab this one just for, I guess, glam. I don't know. That's the top half of that one set that I got. It has a tail. That's kind of hilarious. Okay. That's actually not a bad item, but ooh, that's kind of cute though. That's like a different color version of the one I already got, I think, right? And it's also one I can wear. Aurorial tabard. No, I don't think the one I just got I thought looked kind of like that, but maybe it doesn't. Probably doesn't. I'll probably get this one though for glam. That looks kind of cool. All right. Yeah. Welcome back, Bongo. You better slam that like button. Oh, let me for instance, Merlwerb Blarferswern can be broken down into Merlwerb, Sea Woman, Blafferswyn, Blue Fish Daughter, which, after adjusting for grammar, would be Sea World, Daughter of Bluefish. Huh. That's cool. Sounds Germanic, very Germanic in its construction. You mean Sea Wolf? Sea Whiffed? Wife? Sea Wolf, wife, whiffed. It's all the same thing. Listen, well, the spy we have been seeking all this time is none other than the Flame Marshal Elaine Rorail. Robbins. I should just say all of their names wrong on purpose. That way, at least I know that I'm doing it wrong on purpose, and then I never have to worry about saying it right ever again. But I know a lot of people would get mad at me for that. But maybe that's exactly what I need. People to hate me. I lack the not like this emote and such, and as such can't capture my despair. It is unfortunate. I know that there's some app. Isn't there some app that you can get like for YouTube chat that kind of makes it like Twitch chat? Like I see people using it, and I've heard people talk about it, but I'm pretty sure I looked it up and you have to like apply for it or something. You can't just like it's not like you can't just download it. You have to like apply for it or something. I don't know how it works. Or it's like a service you have to buy or something. The two classes of name that no one will get mad at you for are the Sea Wolves and the... Oh, fair enough. Her name does seem incredibly difficult to pronounce. Like, maybe if I was like Swedish or Dutch or something, it would make more sense. But phonetically, perhaps. But I don't watch nearly enough YouTube live streams to justify hunting it down. It's this thing called like... God, I don't know what it is. No, it's not on your end. It's like on my end. It's like a it's an app, or it's like something that I use on my end, and it turns YouTube chat into basically Twitch, like what Twitch chat looks like, and it gives access to emotes and all that nonsense. Okay, we're gonna continue forward. If you guys are enjoying the stream, please drop a like. We got Discord link pinned in both YouTube and Twitch chat. I multi-stream every time I stream. Here we go. All right. Listen well, the spy we've been seeking this time is none other than a Flame Marshal. Okay. That's not who I expected. Prior to joining the Immortal Flame, she was a mercenary of no small renown, unless they were shown the polearms to be believed. Okay. Of its guardian birth, she is the highest ranked foreigner in the Immortal Flames, barring the Flame General himself, of course. When he formed the Grand Company, Raubon chose people based on their worth, whence they hailed was of no interest. The Monetarists saw things differently, however, having funded the enterprise, they reserved the right to reject candidates nominated for high-ranking positions. And 'twas no secret that they did not favor foreigners, Ishgardians especially, after the way the Holy See forsook the alliance. Yet the Monetarists did not raise so much as a murmur of protest when Raoul was appointed to her post. passing. Strange, is it not? Could it be that the ivy has some hold over the monetarists? May your likes are accounted for. Thank you. I appreciate that. Freddy, if you don't stop begging, you're never getting fed, buddy. But these revelations are secondary to our current mission. Of foremost interest to us is her presence here now. As you may be aware, it is the duty of the Flame Marshal to command the Immortal Flame in the absence of the Flame General. While Rabon attended the Council of Alliance Leaders, she should have remained in the Hall of Flames. The woman has no business being in Gridania, yet here she is nonetheless. On some pretense, she is up to something. Mark my words. I hope you don't have to shove your foot right in your mouth later. Even as we speak, I have a dozen men trawling the Flames records for evidence of Varal's guilt. Because I really thought it was going to be that one guy that was being absolutely treacherously treasonous in Ul'dah, like, oh, not too long ago, you know? But, you know, maybe it's her. If we catch her red-handed, we'll have the proof we need. Which brings me to the plan. I have people watching the city gates, the airship landing in the docks, every point of egress. She cannot leave without our knowledge. All that remains is the shadow... is to shadow her until she betrays her true purpose. Can I rely on your eyes? Sure. I really hope she's not just like grocery shopping or something. And here we go, just like ruining her day. You have my thanks. Let us go and take care not to alert our quarry. Sea wolves look like gibberish unless sure they know Ellison names are French. Huh. Do, 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 do. She's headed in the direction of the Blue Badger Gate. With me, Scion. Oh, that's a cool umbrella. Like a tech umbrella. LED umbrella. Gamer umbrella. So she has entered the canopy, meeting someone perchance, or could it be she means to board an airship? Pray look for her within. If she's not on the upper floor, try the landing area below. One of mine is stationed here, and she may have seen something. FME is her name. I shall remain here in case she appears. I guess I could go in and... That is an outfit. Or should I say that is not very much of an outfit. Ha! Because... skimpy. It says... I don't know. Oh, okay. Such an unexpected pleasure. What brings you here? A social visit, you say? How pleasant. No, she didn't come this way. I've noted every passenger. Well, don't let me keep you. Well, then she's meeting someone upstairs, you know? She's in a room with someone. Probably having an affair or something. I don't know. It's none of my business. Sounds like a lot of none ya. What's that? None your business. Nowhere to be seen, you say, and you are sure she not board an airship. She could not have gone back out. Where in the seven hells could she have gone? The roost. How could I forget? I don't know how you forgot that. Greetings, good sir. May I interest you in some Mun Toy Tonic? A cup a day imbues a man with great vigor. If you take my meaning. Perhaps another time, friend Arino. Wait, that necklace. You are a shinobi of Doma. The woman you seek has left Gridania by way of the Westshire Pier. She was attired as a merchant, but these eyes are not so easily deceived. You may wish to take your search to the East Shroud. Rest assured that we shall continue to support you from the shadows. Okay. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. Sounds good. It's a plan. It's a plan. Thank the 12 for the Domas. Were it not for their unique talents, she would have disappeared without a trace. Let's go ahead and grab that. Oh. Oh. Our hunt leads us to the East Shroud. I suggest we follow her example and take the ferry. You'll doubtless wish to make certain preparations. See to them I go on ahead if you appear. Bye. Bye-bye. Ugh. I don't know why we gotta take the. I really don't know why we have to take the ship. Kind of seems like, you know, we should just go to the other side of pier, like, you know. We don't have to follow her footsteps exactly, so to speak, you know. At least that's how I feel about that. There you are, good sir. This way. Yay. Forgiving. Your quarry makes for the Hawthorne hut. If she is truly the one we seek, we can expect that she means to make contact with her Garlean masters there. An explanation is in order. You are no doubt aware that the Garleans have their own method of communicating over great distances. Well, our ingenious friends at Garland Ironworks have provided us with devices which disrupt these communications, and we have installed them around the city-states. In so doing, we have made it difficult for Imperial agents to correspond with their masters. She would thus have no choice but to rendezvous with her Imperial contact directly. Yet as a well-known face in the Immortal Flames, she could not move about Thanalan without being recognized. It would only be a matter of time before someone saw through her disguise. 'Tis for this reason, I believe, that she has chosen the Black Shroud for her clandestine meeting. The L is in our common sight here, and her comings and goings are not like to turn any heads. As my scout tells it, the Garleans have sent agents with a mind to destroy the devices and render such direct contact unnecessary. Fortunately, our shinobi have thus far been successful in rebuffing their efforts. This is it. We need only make for Hawthorne's hut and catch her in the act. Let's go. Or to sound a lot more like Mario, let's go. That wasn't a very good one. I blame it on the post. I wasn't really sick, but I still have that like sick voice, you know, the phlegmy kind of sick voice. Freddy, I love you, but begging doesn't make things happen faster, okay? It doesn't, okay? All right. It's not gonna make time go by faster. Why don't you just, you know, like, take a nap, lick yourself? My people report that our quarry has departed for the Bramble Patch. The Ivy returns to the Netherlands when she came, but perhaps it is all for the better. To convict someone of her standing will require damning evidence against her. What could be better than to catch her in the act when she finally meets with her Garlean masters? My countrymen and I shall lie in wait in the shadows. Tread warily, my friends. He after tossing all of these accusations out like left and right, he absolutely better just like, here, I gotta move the Twitch chat again. Oops. There you go. Also, I don't think the alerts ever like came online. I like set them all up and stuff. Freddy, I swear, if you start messing with stuff to annoy me, I'm gonna pick you up and I'm gonna hold you like a baby, because I know you love being held like a baby. I know it's your favorite thing. I know you love being smothered with attention. I know you love it so much. You're such a good baby boy. This is an effective way to stop him from begging, because it just annoys him and he's like, okay, I don't want anything to do with you anymore. But now I'm covered in Freddy hair, which is very unfortunate. Yeah, he jumped down. He's like, all right, well. What am I doing? Go to the Bramble Patch. We go to the Bramble Patch. Away we go. just brambling along. All right. That person's doing this quest too. Just beyond, she is in conversation with an individual clad in the manner of an adventurer, an imperial intermediary, no doubt. This is it. With me. Yes. We nod, and then we take action. This really better be something actually bad, or else you're just gonna look like a big old jerk. You are under arrest. Oh, you better not arrest her yet. I mean, you gotta, like, for treason and espionage. You were followed, you bloody fool. Okay, then they were definitely doing something dubious. See, at least that one's accurate. That one silent conjurer isn't silent, but this dubious adventurer is very dubious. Damnation! At least said for suspicion of. Yeah, seriously. You're under arrest for having a conversation in a forest. Where you going now? Humph. Prepare for the smoke bomb. You are unarmed, my lady, and scarcely garbed for battle, but if you wish to fight, you are welcome to try. There's a Freddy hair in my mouth. What is the meaning of this, Captain? Would you arrest me for strolling in the Twelveswood? When I last looked, this was no crime, and neither was conversing with passing strangers. Yeah, dude, you kind of jumped the gun there. You would feign ignorance then? Very well. I have this evidence. If you do think of something to say, there will be plenty of time to say it later. Now come quietly, I should... Okay. I will offer you no struggle. After all, I have naught to hide. She's like, I'm gonna fight this in the courts. Oh, did I miss something? I didn't think I had it on... There it is. I didn't think I had it on autoplay. Oh well. It was probably just like, let's go or whatever. Alright. Hello there, Mr. Tree. Oh, these guys used to be aggressive towards me. Is it because I'm like really over leveled? Oh no, those guys are still aggressive. Never mind. They weren't aggressive, I guess. Even a warrior of her renown could not have hoped for an escape by force. Despite her claims, her surrender does not bespeak innocence, but an awareness that her position is untenable. With the ivy thus uprooted, it is to be hoped that the tendrils she entwined around the immortal flames will gradually wither and die. Mayhap then the people of Dawa have the grand company they know that they deserve. Wait, will have the grand company they deserve. But let us speak of the present. If I may ask, what will you do now? What will I do now? So the scions seek away into Iceheart's sanctum. Then I dare say you are eager to return to the Rising Stones. Pray do not let me keep you. Fear not, my countrymen, I shall attend to the aftermath. You need not waste your talents here. And speaking of talents, have you considered training in the art of shinobi? Or the shinobi? If you have the aptitude for it, I believe, please give them thought. Till next time, my friend. Okay. 10 levels or more above makes them not aggro anymore unless smacked, but also makes them call for friends when you do hit them. Oh. That's cool. Why does that guy have like a yellow light coming out of his... Now it's not, but... What were you doing? What was that? He's shooting laser beams. What about this? Is it the boar stuff? The boar's doing it too. Oh, is it when they're close together? That's the aggro lines? That's cool. Yeah, he did. He did call for help. He did. It did not help. But he certainly did try. Okay. Oh yeah, in the rising. I gotta just enjoy this song for a second. Oh, are they doing a squat contest? I could do this all day. She never skips leg day. It is a battle of wills, a struggle for supremacy. Man, if he loses again, he's gonna feel awful. Also, why is he, you know, he really shouldn't wear all that armor doing a squat contest. Exercise of yours to fail music would be comical. This exercise of yours never fails in music. Well, it's a pure. Okay. Strength, Hori, on your honor as a son, I forbid you to surrender. This makes it more impressive. You're right. That's true. That's true. But Higiri, you're missing the point. The individual doesn't matter. It was a team effort, and I was the one who Thancred's tale of Lady Higiri almost beggar belief. My heart is fair fit to burst from admiration. Ha ha ha, a rousing tale of comrades' valor. Truly we are fortunate to count Lady Higiri as a friend. True. She's juggling. Steady, not bad. I have a little more practice. I could be fortunate at Ruby Road Exchange. What are you juggling? A knife, an axe, and a bottle. That's pretty impressive because those are all, like, I know how to juggle. And those are all, you know, very different objects. So they have very different weights and speed of rotation. She cannot seriously be considering it. Life as a street performer should be one's last resort, not their first. Oh, thanks for that. I as a street performer, I appreciate that. Totoro has grown beyond childish fantasies of becoming a songstress. Now she aspires to be a legendary street performer. Is that not cool? Is juggling not impressive to people anymore? I mean, there's also other things that we can do. Oh my god. Fred knows it's getting close to time. He's getting more and more annoying. He's gonna have to stop. I understand that Alphanaut has a task for you. What may I ask, was it? Charges of treason and espionage? I can scarce believe it. Could there not have been some manner of misunderstanding? No, it avails us not to dwell upon it. Whatever the truth may be, we must trust the authorities to uncover it. Let us speak of another matter. I am pleased to report that we have made progress in our efforts to find a way into Iceheart's sanctum. As you may recall, Iceheart used the Aetherite in the depths of Snowcloak to teleport a short distance to the west, most likely to a sanctuary of some description. It is there that we suspect that she means to summon Shiva using the crystal she stole from the House Four Temps caravan. The heretics believe that they are bringing about the second coming of their patron saint, but if, as we suspect, they mean to hold a summoning ritual of the kind employed by the beast tribes, it seems likely that the result will be something akin to a primal. Suffice it to say, they must be stopped, and stop them we shall, but first we must surmount the obstacle that Iceheart has placed in our path. Ordinarily, it would be a simple matter to tap into the established Aethernet and thereby follow our quarry. However, despite our best efforts, we have been unable to ascertain the positions of the Aetherite to which she teleported. Our prevailing theory is that she destroyed the second Aetherite upon arrival, a reckless, desperate measure, but also an effective one. After discussing the matter at length with Arianger, we have concluded that we lack the expertise to develop a solution, which is why we have called upon the aid of one who does possess such expertise, a colleague of ours who is currently en route to Revenant's Toll from Charléon. She should be arriving within the hour. In fact, since you are here, mayhap we could welcome her together. I am certain she would appreciate the gesture. Let us make our way to the northern gates and await her coming. Okay, let's go await her coming. Freddy, I know you're there, and I know you're bugging me and begging me right now. But I am immune. I am immune to your tomfoolery and your cute eyeballs and your little face. I am immune. That is some freaking cool chocobo armor. That chocobo is like standing a little too close there to the rear end. Okay, Fred. Ugh. Yeah, stretching sounds good. Sounds great. I love this standing desk. Thank God.
Minfilia, am I right?
Oh, yes. I was not expecting voice acting.
None other. I bid you welcome to Revenant's Toll, and thank you for traveling so far on such short notice.
As if I could ever say no to Urianger.
Moonbreeder is an accomplished Sharlayan scholar and an authority on aetherite technologies. She has played an invaluable role in our search for a means to capture Ascian souls.
Charmed, I'm sure.
Gotta give him the nod. Gotta give him the nod. Bruh, if this chocobo farts, you're gonna have such a bad day. You should just move. Let us return to the Rising Stones at once, then we have much to discuss. Pray return to the Rising Stones! Oh, they moved. Good. I think they realized that their chocobo was about to blast him in the... Oh, I have messages? Delivery Moogle? Oh. More voice acting, probably. I would assume.
Moon! Gods, it's been ages!
Oh, longer, sister.
Her hair was doing
Joyous
something really
reunion
weird
indeed.
in that. I
But
believe
of
there was like
course
this
it is.
space that you could
Moon
see
and
that
I
was
are
like...
twin sisters.
Save in appearance and aptitude.
Oh. Why you gotta always be so rude, huh? Little troll.
Everyone, if I could have your attention. We have with us an esteemed guest who has come from Sharlayan to assist us.
Yeah, I hate bird smell. I'm not gonna lie.
I bid Moonbreeder join us here that she might share with us her extensive knowledge of aetherites. Also, as many of you are already aware, she has been overseeing our research into white auracite, a sample of which she has been good enough to bring with her.
Well, I had to come, didn't I? You'd have to be bloody daft to turn your nose up at a chance like this. Where better to conduct my final tests than a land so steeped in ether you can taste it?
'tis plain the passage of the years hath done little to dampen thy youthful spirits.
I love his voice. I don't know what it is. It's just so like soothing.
To reform thy youthful manner.
I think their voice actors all change, right? See, like, do you see the gap in her hair? It's just pure blackness. It's like the gaps between her hair are an endless void of
have you been hiding?
darkness.
Unhand me.
I come all this way, and that's what you have to say to me. I much preferred when you were pleading with me to drop everything and hurry to your side. What was it you said? None save thee can satisfy this need.
Oh. Dang, that's a little embarrassing. Just put on blast for everyone. He's like, I was late and I was a little tipsy. You know, sure.
Attempts to misrepresent mine all too innocent motives do thee little credit. Mine intent, as well thou knowest, was but to impress upon thee the gravity of the circumstance. Lest thou doubt, a deiform entity shall shortly be summoned, save if thou and no other grantest my compeers thine aid.
You still haven't found it then, your missing aetherite?
Nah, probably destroyed.
We have not. No.
Probably gone forever. Probably lost to the void.
We know that Iceheart teleported to an aetherite not far from the first. Yet even after careful analysis, we could not locate a second beacon. We now suspect that the heretics destroyed the second aetherite to impede our pursuit. Our allies continue to scour Snowcloak for Iceheart's sanctuary, but we have no guarantee that they will find it. Yet it must be found, for even now Iceheart prepares to call upon Saint Shiva.
I'm sorry, but if the aetherite's been destroyed, then that's that. Although, you're absolutely sure she used the first aetherite, are you? She didn't just use teleportation magics?
One of our own bore witness to her escape. I can say with absolute certainty
I'm gonna
that
not.
Iceheart
Oh,
used the
I thought they were gonna ask me, and then I was gonna nod. And oh, there it is! There it is!
In that case, there might be a way, so long as the ethereal current is still flowing.
Truly? How?
We use the current to recreate the beacon. As you know, aetherites are a bit like lighthouses. We use them to reconstitute our physical forms when crossing the ethereal sea. Without them, we'd lose all sense of direction and our essence would dissipate. However, we don't rely solely on these beacons. There are currents of ether which flow between them, currents which help guide us to our destination. Now, these currents will gradually dwindle away to nothing if an aetherite is destroyed. But if even a sluggish flow remains, we could theoretically use it to direct a surge of concentrated ether towards the void left by the beacon, and thereby fill it up again.
Like opening the floodgates to fill a dry riverbed. Though, correct me if I'm wrong, but would we not need a veritable reservoir of ether?
In concert, we might manage to channel a sufficient volume, yet that is not my chief concern. To direct the flow of so great a volume of ether with the requisite precision would be a nigh impossible task in itself.
I barely succeeded in facilitating travel to an unattuned beacon. That which you describe sounds considerably more difficult.
And dangerous. Every person who has attempted to teleport in this fashion has died in the process. They, however, did not have white aura sight at their disposal. I can use it to channel all the ether you can give me into the aetherite. However, white aura sight cannot retain ether for an extended period of time, so we would need to infuse it immediately beforehand. Just so you know, I'd confidently give this plan better than even odds of success. And if the worst comes to worst, your people won't suffer.
though it risk the lives of our best and brightest, we have not the time to seek other options. If the ethereal current still flows, we shall carry out Moonbreeder's plan.
That's the
Okie dokie.
spirit. Let's roll the dice.
Yay! Let's hope we don't all die. Let's test that theory. Alright, what I'm probably gonna do before the next quest starts is go feed... Oh god, I don't want to say his name because he's back there. He's not begging right now, so it's like the perfect moment. There he goes. Hold on, I'll go. I'll be right back. I'm gonna. I just fed the cats, but I'm gonna go ahead and grab water real quick too. By the way. Okay. Let me headphones. I got myself some candy. I got some Wappas. Like the candy Wappas. And then Milk Duds. And so I'm gonna enjoy the crap out of those while doing this. Except for I'm gonna have to read a lot of this. But not just yet. I've already informed Alphanaut of our plan to recreate the beacon in a manner Moon Brita Murder described. He agreed that despite the inherent danger, it represents our only hope of success. He also said that he wished to meet you in the snow cloak before you proceeding. I expect you to find him waiting for you when you arrive. I want you to know that I appreciate everything you've done on our behalf, and I have faith you will return to us as you always have. Oh. Okay. Shit. Okay. Oh, you can probably hear that. Okay. Good to see you. I was starting to wonder if you're having second thoughts. Captain Ilbert sends his regards, by the way. He attends to the irrigation in Ul'dah as we speak. I'll let you distract from the matter at hand. Discuss Ivy. Just mean to say the others are waiting for us at the Aetheryte. Okay. It worked, I think. Try attuning to the Aetheryte now. Feel for the current and try to locate the beacon. We have done all we can. For now, let us withdraw. When your final preparations are complete, you must seek out the beacon we have created. If by the grace of the 12 you arrive safely, you must stop Art's heart. Before she summons Shiva. Alphinaud is so short compared to her. It's so funny. He comes up to like her waist. Okay. We cannot ignore the possibility that our actions have alerted Iceheart to our plans. Should that be the case, we may attempt to hasten the completion of the summoning ritual, as if she succeeds, you will have little choice but to face Shiva in battle. Knowing little of this saint, I cannot say if your own strength will suffice, and so I would encourage you to call upon your allies. Some may have reservations about wagering their lives on the success of her experiment, but others will surely agree that desperate times call for desperate measures. Before you assemble your party, pray speak with that knight. I believe he has a message for you from Sir Aymeric. Madam, Sir Aymeric regrets that he could not be here in person and asks that I read you this letter. Ishgard faces an unprecedented threat, yet in our hour of need, it is not her knights who stand poised to defend her. Fythe, the warrior of light, savior of Eorzea, your deeds this day shall not be forgotten. Where others would flee, you choose to remain. Where others would falter, you rise to the challenge. Where others would use their gifts for selfish ends, you wield yours in the service of a greater cause. May Hallown bless you with good fortune and see you safely home. Thanks. I mean, it's not my funeral, but thanks. Yeah. I appreciate that. It might be my last time to say anything to anyone, you know? I don't know if anyone really wants to help me do this or if I should just hop in and go for it. I'll give you guys a moment to make your decisions. Oh, was that you? Was that huh? Yep, there you go. That was a very cinematic entrance, I gotta admit. What about Bongo? You've been leaning on that rock for the past hour. That's pretty funny. Okay, he's a little taller than I thought. He still only comes up to like a little bit above her waistline. I don't hear anything from Bongo. I'm gonna go ahead and just go. Wait, did I just use a skill? Huh. Oh no, we're too late.
You should never have come here, warrior of light. I labor only to forge a lasting peace. A peace you would deny us out of ignorance and blind faith. No matter. If it is our fate to be at odds, then it is mine to strike you down. We whom gods and men have forsaken shall be the instruments of our own deliverance. Partake of my flesh. Fill this vessel with your light. Walk amongst your brothers and sisters once more. Oh, Saint Shiva, still the hatred within our hearts and bless us with eternal grace.
Uh-oh. It's funny how we can never get to these things before they happen, you know? It's like, ah, darn it. Summoned again. That's a cool model. Fair, she is a rogue. Yeah. The dancing. Oh. We got 2 bards, I think. Ooh. Okay, I gotta dot again. I'm being a bad bard. Huh? Ooh, that's cool. There's like vocals and stuff. This song reminds me of the 90s. I don't know why. That was a cool fight. Got that kind of vibe. Yeah. Like the sound effects with her like big ice move or whatever, that was really cool. Fred, what do you want now, dude? Oh, she's still alive? I totally assumed she was gonna die. She just had like a primal like inside of her, you know?
Fool. Blind, bloody fool. You, of all people, should understand the suffering war begets. That no sacrifice is too great if it brings an end to the violence. Mine is the righteous cause. You fight in a war you do not understand. A pawn of liars and schemers. And they are no less ignorant than you, following the creed of their fathers without question, never thinking to ask why. Trapped in a delusion of their own creation, and blind to the truth. Warrior of light, redemption is not beyond us. We who walk before may lead those who walk after. Seek the keeper of the lake. See with eyes unclouded. Do not squander a mother's gift. Think.
Oh, look at that ass, CN.
And so the vessel withdraws, a predictable outcome. Nevertheless, La Habrea will be pleased. How unfortunate.
All right. By the 12, you're alive. I mean, of course you're alive. Why wouldn't you be? Iceheart did what? And you're certain about that, are you? Dravanians are skilled with glamours, after all. Look, if you say that's what you saw, I believe you. It's just that I've never heard of a primal being summoned like that before. Are you sure you're not injured? Head trauma? Been known to cause hallucinations. You see? No? Fair enough. I was only asking. She remains unconvinced that you have not sustained a head injury. The halfway point. Halfway point of what? I don't know if I want to know. If you ask me, there's not to be gained from mulling over the implications of your story in the freezing cold. Let's save it for the rising stones, eh? Get everyone to meet you there. Before that, you had to pay a visit from Whitefront to speak with Alphanot. He's probably worried sick about you. That, or he's busy playing at politics with the Ishgardians. Either way, I'm sure he'll be delighted to see you hale and healthy. Speaking of which, you don't have a headache, are you? Anything, do you? No? Blurred vision? No. Okay, no reason. See you again soon. Oh, the halfway point of post-A are okay. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. That's not shocking. I'm glad it's not a shocking revelation. But it means that I probably have a lot more left to do than I thought I did. I need to find a delivery Moogle. Cool. Ugh. Oh, holy crap. Fist bump emote? Nice. Do I have to, like, read the book or whatever? Yeah. Okay. You got them finally? Are those the rewards or whatever, I don't know what to call it. The mentorship or the referral. That's what it is. Yeah, the recruit rewards. Okay. Welcome, Crawford, by the way. There she is, and none the worse for wear. Was there any doubt that the Warrior of Light would succeed? Yes. I think I speak for us all when I say that I should like nothing more than to hear the stirring tale of your victory, if you would be so kind. Then we were too late to prevent the summoning. But not too late to prevent further loss of life, an outcome worthy of celebration, and one for which we have her to thank. Yes, you are right, of course, Sir Aymeric. We should be content with that. We have... I, for one, could not have wished for a better outcome. Shiva is no longer a threat, and the heretics have been routed. Aye, there is the matter of Iceheart's escape. She cannot run forever. Whatever it takes, days, weeks, moons, or even years, my knights will find her. No matter where you run, no matter where you hide, I will find you, and I will kill you. In the meantime, Lord Drillamont, is the caravan ready? It kind of reminds me, there's just like one quote that like is like burned into my brain from Prototype. I don't know if anyone has ever played Prototype in my community. It's like a really old open world, like almost like a Spider-Man game, like one of those older Spider-Man games where it's just a giant open world sandbox. You just run around like doing stuff. But there's this like quote at the end of one of the prototypes where you're like chasing this dude and he's got like the full force of the army against you or whatever. And the main character, Alex, is just like, nothing can save you from me. Not weapons, not it's like not men, not weapons, not armor. And then you go and you kill the guy. And it's just a very epic moment. All right. Rest assured that my knights will see them safely to Revenant's Toll. Of that I have no doubt. I take it that these self-same supplies the heretics stole from the House Vortem's caravan? Less the crystals which comprise the bulk of the shipment, yes, scarcely a fraction of that which was promised, but a meaningful contribution to your cause all the same. Oh, on an unrelated note, Nindanon, might I trouble you to accompany me to Count Drabenhead? 'Tis not for your benefit. A certain lord was most distressed when he learned of your intent to risk life and limb to stop Iceheart. It took half a dozen knights to restrain him, I am told. Shrug. Men give vent to their anxieties in myriad ways. I pray do not think less of him. Okay. Speak with Harshafal. My dude Harshafal. What were you thinking? Wagering your very being on a dubious theory that might allow you to enter her lair, knowing full well that she could have sufficient forewarning to complete her ritual to summon Shiva anyway? And then, engaging in the abomination in mortal combat by the fury. 'Tis the stuff of ballads, a battle for the ages. What would I have been, or what would that I had been there to fight by your side? Yet here I was forced to wait, condemned to wonder at the fate of a dear friend for a veritable eternity. I would not wish such torture on my most hated enemy. But here you are now, and that is what truly matters. Let us move on. Say Emmerich wished to have words with you and Master Alphinaud in private. Sir Emmerich, not... He awaits us in the intercessory. 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 Whatever that means. Intercessory. Voice acting?
On behalf of the Holy See of Ishgard, allow me to express my deepest thanks. Never before have we been required to contend with a primal. Indeed, there were fears in some quarters that our knights might not be equal to the task. From what we have now learned of these beings, I can say with certainty that we would have lost a great many men had the Scions not intervened.
Then the argument for preemptive action should be self-evident. Perchance now you will reconsider my proposal that Ishgard move against Nautalon.
Ere we first met, a similar proposal was tabled, but the Holy See decreed that we were to observe, and that military action should be taken only in self-defense. All things considered, it was not an unreasonable decision. Since the calamity, 2 vigils have fallen to the Horde, while Garuda has never shown any inclination to storm the gates of judgment. Which is why this unprecedented crisis and its resolution may prompt a change in policy. You who have faced these primals know well the threat they pose. Ishgard did not. Not until now. And there is naught like a brush with death to change a man's outlook.
At the very least, this should silence any lingering objections to our arrangement with Revenant's Toll. The Holy See may even feel moved to grant us its formal endorsement.
So far as it is possible, the Scions shall be compensated for their service.
We should be grateful for any aid you can provide.
As a gesture of good faith, I shall withdraw my previous request. Your people are doubtless needed elsewhere.
That will not be necessary. We too have a vested interest in watching Dravania's movements.
I see. Once more, I must thank you.
Sir Emmerich, if I may, do you truly believe that Midgard-Zoma could return?
The heavens are a window unto truth, but those who interpret their movements are not infallible. I requested your involvement as a precautionary measure.
But of course, you sought an excuse to compensate us from the first, mindful of what would happen if Revenant's Toll were taken by your enemies. Ishgard is not wont to aid its neighbors, but that does not preclude it from manipulating them to serve its own interests.
Choose your next words carefully.
Do you know what sort of man becomes Lord Commander of the Temple Knights? One who comes from good stock. I did not. Yet here I am. Now, why do you suppose that is? Because I swiftly learned to tell the difference between words, deeds, and beliefs. You are correct, Master Leveilleur. Ishgard desires to see Revenant's Toll flourish, as it would present a troublesome obstacle to our enemies from the south.
We are so glad to be of use to you.
As we are to you. Ours is a mutually beneficial arrangement, lest we forget, one born of necessity. The dragons grow more restless by the day, and the heretics harry us nigh without cease. We have contended with such troubles for centuries, but there are limits to even our endurance. Yet as a pauper is loath to part with his meager possessions, the leaders of Ishgard are not wont to render up their trust to outsiders. But with perseverance on our part, they may yet be made to see the light. Nevertheless, one must take care when walking the road less traveled.
Wise words, Sir Emmerich. I shall make a point to remember them. I must apologize for my earlier outburst. I hope it will not sour our good relations.
Not at all. You but spoke from the heart. I trust you understand that at times my duties may prevent me from meeting with you. On such occasions, my second-in-command will speak for me.
Lucia, at your service. Pray excuse our reticence. We are but wary of speaking too freely, lest our sentiments be made known to our enemies. Know that the Lord Commander and I are of one mind. For the sake of Ishgard, and of Eorzea at large, I pray our peoples can put aside their differences. Those who dwell in the past risk losing sight of their future.
Should aught befall one of our shipments, pray inform Lucia immediately. You may also relay to her any words you might have for me alone. Not being of Ishgardian birth, she owes no allegiance to any noble house, making her as near to incorruptible as one can find in my homeland. Suffice it to say, I trust her completely, and so may you. Which reminds me, Lord Orchefort, if you would be so kind?
Certainly.
In times such as these, trust is ever in short supply. Mayhap this will go some way to rectify the problem. The results of our investigation into the heretics' recent attacks, as well as our interrogation of the merchant you detained.
Sir Emmerich, I cannot thank you enough.
Think nothing of it. Ishgard may be many things, but it is no friend to Garlemald.
Did I not tell you to have faith, my friend?
It would seem we have much to discuss with our friends at the Rising Stones. If what you say is true, Iceheart's methods of summoning Shiva defies all precedent and necessitates a complete reprisal of the primal threat and of our approach to combating it. Moreover, there are grave ramifications if word of this incident reaches Imperial ears. The Garland Empire believes that primals are an insufferable menace, that their mere existence is a threat to the very star. As such, they deem any action taken against the beast tribes to be justified by default. Imagine then if it became known that it was not only the beast tribes of Eorzea that could summon primals, but her civilized people as well. Any lingering objection to the Eorzean campaign would vanish overnight. Where before we had to contend with a single Imperial Legion, we could all find ourselves facing the combined might of all Garlemald. But I speak unadvisedly. Come, Nindonan, it is better that we continue this conversation in Mordana. Yeah, it's a bit of a pickle. Oh, yeah, sure. I'll use the tickets. I'll start using those. Save some monies. True, young leaders can be more amenable to new ideas. Then again, their lack of experience and influence can hinder their ability to enact reforms. I do not fault Sir Emmerich for being less forthcoming with his beliefs. Not even the highborn can. Okay. There's a little fortune and far less fame in being a receptionist, but one must be realistic. Also, it would seem that I was grossly misinformed regarding the average earnings of a street performer. Forgive me, I thought I had prepared enough meals for everyone, but the others were most hungry. Our stocks of wine have nearly run dry. The scholars drinking us out of house and home. What you two do is your own business. Don't say I didn't warn you. Hey, I just gotta say, yeah. Trying to tumble the table now, are we? Don't give up yet, boy. He's trying. A sip before practice, a sip after practice, and all too often a sip during practice. I do believe Moonburrito is having quite a bad influence on you. Walk, calm yourself. It's just a little sip. Clears out the cobwebs. Moon drinking him under the table. Yeah.
Words cannot well express how glad I am to see you return to us hale and whole. Needless to say, I am most eager to hear your account of that which occurred in Kurthis, assuming you're ready to speak of it. Excellent. I shall summon the others at once. Iceheart used her own body as a vessel for a primal soul?
Master Louisoir's writings make no mention of such a possibility. Can we be certain this entity was a primal?
As certain as we can be that good King Mogglmog XII was a primal, I should think. Both were ostensibly summoned.
Let's not quibble over definitions. Of more concern is the implication that Iceheart retained her will, even after she was possessed. We are talking about a mortal, wielding the power of a primal.
It can't possibly be that easy, can it? There must be some sort of sacrifice required. Or maybe she's just special?
What qualities this woman possesseth, I know not. But full sure am I that she was groomed for this role. Few are privy to the secrets of summoning, and but a single party standeth to profit from their dissemination.
Well, I wouldn't presume to comment on how the lass came to know about summoning, but I will say that what she summoned was a primal. The readings were the same, or near as damn it. Strange as it all sounds, it's really no different from what you've faced before.
Then mayhap it is time that we re-examined our previous encounters.
Pack your things, Ida. We're going back to Gridania.
Yes, sir.
About Iceheart's final words to you. Hear, feel, think. Hydaelyn speaks to her as well. If Iceheart is blessed with the power of the Echo, she will doubtless have used it to further her goals. Or could it be that it was a revelation granted her by the Echo which first set her on this path? She did say that the Ishgardians were blind to the truth. Do you think she has knowledge of the origins of the Ishgardian-Dravanian War? It would do much to explain her unwavering conviction.
Did not the Lady Iceheart implore thee to seek the Keeper of the Lake? And did she not imply that in so doing thou wouldst come to see with eyes unclouded?
Midgard Zoma was a king amongst kings who reigned for centuries on end. But he is dead and his wisdom lost to the ages. Unless the Ishgardians' fears are well founded. It would seem we have yet another reason to stand watch over the Keeper of the Lake. For a mercy, we are well positioned to do so. Iceheart, Shiva, Ascians, and Midgard Zoma. I shudder to think how they're all connected.
I mean to scour the annals for knowledge of Midgard Summer. Given his great age, I dare say he appears in more than a few. Do you hear that? The commotion outside. Would you see if aught is amiss? Tis well that you were on hand. We have a problem. Royale has escaped. It happened shortly after the Immortal Flames took her in custody. She had been placed in a dungeon cell ahead of her coming trial, but apparently the accommodation was not to her liking. The turnkey was found slain along with 2 guards. 'Tis plain she received inside help. Citizens report seeing Royale quitting the city at the Gate of Nald with a bloodied spear in hand. She makes for Castrum Meridianum. I'm certain of it, with her fate as good as sealed. What recourse has she but flee? Even as we speak, Captain Obert and the first are hot upon her heels. Pray make haste to Camp Blue Fuck and join the hunt. Nope. Hey, Albert. My thanks for coming. I have spoken with the soldiers here. They say that Raoul walked through the camp not a bell ago. She walked right through. You did not mishear. We have Raoul's decision to keep the matter secret. Thank for that. Bad for morale, he said. As a result, not a single flame in the garrison made any attempt to detain her, and so here we are. Raoul must not be allowed to reach Castrum No. Oh. This wretch was with Royale. He threw himself at us that his mistress might escape. She didn't blink when we cut him down, not even when he started screaming no loyalty even to her own, the goddamn harpy. With me, we almost have her. Stack, please help. Why is she not? Maybe I have to kill the Man, they're like lambs to the slaughter. Bind her and do it tight. Good work, men. She and her Imperial cronies pushed us close, but we were better. Behold, a respected officer of the Immortal Flames. People looked up to you as one of the Order's founding members, one of its pillars. It saddens me to see you fallen so low. Snort. And what would you know of low? You, a spoiled little lordling who's never known anyone. People such as you take wealth and birth for granted. You think it's your God-given right to rule over others. You know not of our plight, the injustice that we low-bordish guardians must endure. To the noble lords and ladies, we are not people but resources. I did what I had to do to survive, stealing, killing, even... Okay. It is no fault of mine if fools imagine with a paragon when I join the flames. Imagine me a paragon. To hear you tell it, one would think that you the only Oh, Freddy. Chill. No. Okay. To hear you tell it, one would think you the only person ever to have suffered. In case you have forgotten, Ruben himself was born into poverty, as was I. We lived hand to mouth with little more than the shirts on our backs. Hunger was our constant companion. And yet never did we bemoan our lot in life, nor did we begrudge others' fortunes. We accepted the hand that we had been dealt and played it to the best of our ability. Life was a battle, but no matter what fate threw at us, we took it on the chin and came back for more. Everything we have, we fought for. How are we any different then? 'Tis true that we were both mercenaries of lowly birth, and it's true that we both had our fair share of struggles. But whereas I sold my sword, you sold your comrades. Mic drop. Sick burn. If life taught me one thing, it is that you never betray your own. I would sooner cut off my own arm than raise a hand against a friend. But enough talk. You will return to Ul'dah to face justice, and the people whose trust you have dragged through the gutter. Not so much of as a hint of remorse. 'Tis well that this sort of business is finally at an end. A friend's betrayal cuts deeper than steel. We must hope that we have chosen our own allies more wisely.
I have heard. Truly bothersome business.
Yeah,
No,
this
I do
guy.
not foresee a problem on that front. The main concern is Roban. There is no telling what the brute might do. Have the blades watch him in the flames day and night. You may leave the Sultana to me. I shall personally attend her grace.
Sever one of the East Aldenard trade routes. That ought to keep Lolorito occupied for a while. Nanamo Ulnamo. For my sake, pray be a good little sultana to the last.
Captain Ilbert and I have a few questions for the Flame Marshal regarding the circumstances of her miraculous escape. When we have completed our interrogation, we shall take our findings directly to General Raban, who shall be the end of it. Your work here is done, my friend. Many thanks. But I have one last task for you. Return to the Rising Stones and apprise Menphilia of all that has happened. I'm aware that the antecedent held Raal in high regard. For better or for worse, she will want to know how this tale ends.
Welcome back, my friend. I have already received word from Alphino. To think that Flame Marshal Huayu was the Garlean agent. I know not what to say. Together with Robon, Aline lent us much-needed aid at the time of our Order's founding. She was particularly passionate about the need to tackle the primal threat. When we discussed the subject, her eyes fairly shone with determination. Whatever else she may have been, I choose to believe that it was her true self with whom I spoke then. But now is not the time to dwell on such matters. I have an important announcement to make regarding our effort to defeat the Ascians. We shall begin as soon as everyone is assembled. My thanks for coming, friends. Moonbreeder, the floor is yours.
By now, I'm sure you're all familiar with White Auracite, the miraculous material that'll allow us to capture Ascian souls. Back at Snowcloak, we verified its ability to absorb vast amounts of ether. Alas, it leaves something to be desired in the area of stability. The stone can only store ether for a short while before expelling its contents.
In addition to Auracite's inherent limitations, we must needs be wary of our enemy's strength. Our foe draweth upon an infinite wellspring of power. Even should we succeed in entrapping him, the stone will not long contain his wrath.
Meaning that, if we want to kill the swine, we'll have to be quick about it.
'Tis our belief that an Ascian soul may be permanently undone, if smitten by a sufficiently concentrated burst of pure ether.
The only trouble is, we can't say for sure how concentrated the burst needs to be. Without knowing how much ether an Ascian soul is composed of, we're basically guessing.
Our sole clue lieth in thy struggle with La Hebrea.
During that encounter, Heidelin bid you forge what she called a Blade of Light, a weapon which took the form of a luminous stream of energy. Based on your description, we believe the blade with which you vanquished your foe was composed of ether. Admittedly, your victory proved ephemeral, as La Habrea was able to use a crystal of darkness to flee into the space that lies between our world and the void. The fact remains, however, that Hydaelyn placed the means to destroy the Ascians in your hands. Be that as it may, it would be unwise to assume that she will do the same when we next encounter such a foe.
Quite so, my lady. We must needs find the means to forge our own blade of ether, one to equal that which Hydaelyn did benevolently bestow upon her champion.
That is all well and good, but it seems to me that producing such a blade will require a prodigious quantity of ether. Whence will it come, pray tell?
Oh, what if we had 2 pieces of white auricite? One to trap the Ascian, and the other to store the ether for the blade.
Oh, nice try. But it's as I said, the stone won't hold ether for any length of time. We'd still need to collect the stuff there and then, sorry to say.
And therein lies the rub. Finding a way to create the blade whenever and wherever we choose.
'Twould seem more research is in order.
I'm going to linger a while, perform a few more tests on the auricite. And I could do with some help. Urianger, why don't you lend me a hand?
Mine apologies, but I am required at the Waking Sands. Lady Minfilia hath given me sole charge of the premises. 'Twould be unseemly to leave them unattended.
Sole charge, you say? So you're basically alone there, then? Well, that settles it. I'll just have to come to you.
While you were afield, word arrived from the Sharlayan motherland. You will recall that a survey party was dispatched to investigate the incident of the Isle of Val. What they discovered was troubling, to say the least. According to the report, the Isle has been erased from existence. 'Twas as if a hole had been torn in the very fabric of reality.
Aye, yet the mystery endeth not with the Isle's disappearance. It hath come to light that a number of scholars in various other locales were reported missing at a similar juncture.
What's more, they all had something in common with the head of the students of Baldessian. Every last one of them was researching a phenomenon called dimensional compression, or the rejoining as the ancient texts call it. I'll be damned if that's a coincidence.
All indications suggest Ascian involvement, but I sense that a force greater still is at work. The entity the Dark Beings call the One True God. We must pray that my dear friend Kryl regains consciousness soon. If she bore witness to the Isle of Val's final moments, she may be able to shed some light on this mystery.
Following the calamity, the forces of the 14th Imperial Legion entrenched themselves in strategic locations across Eorzea. So swiftly did they accomplish this, it was suspected that they had received help. To think that it came from Huayu, my right hand.
There is more. We have reason to believe that Huayu didn't deal exclusively with the 14th. She also answered to a higher authority in Garlemald. But this higher authority could not have been the Emperor. By consenting to the Media Project, Solus Zos Galvus showed himself to be more concerned about preventing the spread of primal influence than claiming Eorzea for the Empire. He would happily have seen the lot reduced to ash. We believe a number of high-ranking figures within the royal household were against the decision, but that they knew better than to oppose the Emperor openly. Of course, this didn't prevent them from making clandestine provisions, in which Huayu played a part.
Alas, these provisions did not prevent Dalamud from falling, and the ensuing chaos changed the face of the realm forever. Yet Eorzea survived. To all intents and purposes, the Meteor Project had failed, and the Empire was left to rue its lack of a decisive means to eliminate the primals. Until, that is, it stumbled upon the Ultima weapon.
Even before the accursed thing was dug up, it seemed to me the 14th had the might to overwhelm our weakened armies. Yet they chose to hide behind their walls. Why?
The Black Wolf was wary of making the denizens of Eorzea desperate, lest more primals emerge to bleed the land. The discovery of the Ultima weapon, however, emboldened him to resume his war of conquest in earnest.
But there was one in Garlemald who believed that Van Belsar's actions were premature. One who stood higher in the Imperial Army's chain of command. He ordered the Legatus to halt his advance, only to find that the Black Wolf had slipped its leash, and that the 14th now acted alone. In a bid to bring Van Belsar to heel, he used the agent he had planted in Ul'dah prior to the Calamity to undermine the Legion's efforts.
A man who outranks Van Belsar, yet opposed the late Emperor's decision to annihilate Eorzea. This could only be the former High Legatus of the Garlean army, now known as Emperor Varus Zosgalvus. So he was Huayu's true master.
But one of several in actual fact. We've learned that even as Huayu served the Empire's interests, she sold Imperial secrets to a certain faction in Eorzea. In so doing, she helped to maintain the status quo, thus prolonging the conflict. Considering who stands to profit from war, it isn't hard to imagine who her other masters were.
Seven hells! You mean to say that she was a double agent?
Huh, triple, if you consider her services to Van Belsar and the new Emperor as separate.
As neatly as these pieces seem to fit, one aspect of the puzzle remains unclear to me. By whose will was the Marshal feeding intelligence to the heretics? And try as I might, I fail to see how aiding their cause would profit either her Imperial or Monetarist masters. Could it be that another hand is at work here? If so, Huayu must be made to reveal whose it is.
Not only have I lost a trusted friend, now I must interrogate her as a stranger.
Not a pleasant task, I grant you, but a necessary one. Unless we weed out the ivy, root, stalk, and stem, it will simply grow back.
I know that full well. Those closest to Huayu have already been detained, and I will question them alongside her.
General, pray keep in mind that there may be unwitting abettors among them.
All will be treated fairly. On that you have my word. Those who are innocent have no cause to fear.
You have ever been a friend of truth, General. I hope the unpleasant task of weeding out falsehood will not detain you too long. Though it be for the sake of Eorzea, doubting one's comrades is poison to the soul. And with that, I take my leave.
All these years, I've been made to dance to their tune. How could you, Huayu? How could you side with them? Those cankers who take from this land and give naught in return, who use their power to disempower and grow fat while the people starve. I know you can hear me, monitorous scum! Your crimes will not go unpunished! One day I will purge this land of your sickness! Before the eyes of the 12, I swear it!
Oh.
I shall have no further need of you this day. Your Grace. I fear that not even mine own chambers shall remain private for long.
Has the situation grown so grim?
Ever since he proposed the Cartiner Reclamation Bill, Teleji Adeleji has risen to greater prominence upon the backs of impoverished refugees. The Monetarists were ever united in their pursuit of profit, but the man's actions have torn a rift in their ranks. They snap at each other as rabid dogs. Yet now is not the time to be bickering among ourselves.
If this bickering is a threat to law and order, might you not have grounds to dissolve the Syndicate?
Would that the solution were so simple, Admiral. Alas, my moving to dissolve the Syndicate is certain to spark outrage among the influential merchant class, whom the Cabal represents. This would serve to exacerbate the current unrest, and peace would slip still further away. Be they rich or poor, natives or refugees, all who reside in Ul'dah have a right to pursue happiness. It is the duty of a ruler to protect this right. If I am to perform my duty, I must needs tread warily. It would not do to make enemies heedlessly. Were Lord Lolorito here, he would doubtless say that I have my head in the clouds.
A ruler is required to take a wide view. Try as we might to cater to all needs, some will inevitably be overlooked. As such, there shall ever be citizens who feel aggrieved. It cannot be helped. But as you have informed us, the Monetarists take no view but their own. They hunger for power while the masses starve. In the absence of a common cause, it seems beyond any one individual to make Ul'dah whole.
And the presence of a Garlean agent within the Immortal Flames only makes matters worse. Even accounting for Ul'dah's historic reliance upon mercenaries, such a grievous breach of security is unprecedented. I fear this business will provide the Monetarists with a rod to beat Rauban.
Eorzea can ill afford for the Immortal Flames to be dampened now. Ere long, the Garleans will turn their ravenous gaze toward our lands once more. If we are to resist their might, our nations must stand together. Yet for this to happen, our nations must be whole. Cannot be done to improve the situation in Ul'dah.
The true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her citizens. Alas, the citizens shall never know these things, so long as their lives are ruled by the ambitions of the few. The Monetarists claim to represent the best interests of the people, but in sooth they desire only to manipulate them for their own selfish ends. For the government to serve the people, it must be formed of the people. For Ul'dah to move forward, it is not only the Syndicate that must be dissolved.
Nay, you jest.
My friends, it was for no other reason than to make known to you mine intent that I requested your presence here. When I make my declaration to the people, chaos shall inevitably ensue. As the last monarch in the line of Ul, I make unto you this request. Help Roban to preserve order and protect the people. Forsake them, and you forsake yourselves. For a strong Eorzea will ever have need of a strong Ul'dah.
Your Grace, are you certain of this?
There is no other way. When the time is ripe, the nation shall become a true republic. Both royalists and monetarists shall cease to be. Ul'dah will no longer belong to kings or queens or merchant princes, but to her people. Roban, forgive me for casting aside all that you have toiled for in my name. Beyond this gesture, I am powerless to help my subjects.
All right. That's interesting. That's gonna happen in Ul'dah. That's all gonna go down. I have to level up, don't I? Or no, I have to do dungeons. Okay. Well, honestly though, I'm not gonna lie. I thought I was gonna make it to Heavensward today. That's funny. I think now is actually a good place to stop. Actually, that's about 3 hours of questing done, and we made good progress. The trials you need for the coils. Okay. Gotcha. Let me screenshot these real quick. Make a little snippy poo right here. I'll save that. That way next time I stream, I can have like a list or whatever. Don't have to talk to her again. There we go. All right. Well, it's getting good. It's getting better. You know, I mean, I like that there's more voice acting. I enjoy the. I guess I don't know. I'm used to with Genshin. It's the same way. We're like main story quest with Genshin. Like everything else isn't voiced, but with the main story it is. So you kind of get used to like watching it like a movie, right? But yeah, I enjoy the scenes more when you get to just kind of sit there and watch it and enjoy the story rather than like having to worry about saying names right and stuff. Post ARR as long, but you're past the worst part. Yeah, no, it was kind of. It wasn't super great at first, I guess, but yeah, it's been slowly getting better. I'm excited to see how much better it is after Heavensward, because like for real, I know I'm super early in the game, so I'm not casting any judgment here or there, but people have said to me that this is the best game of all time, like best story of all time or whatever, and I want to know what that's all about. Shiva's the turning point. It's all uphill from here. Well, good, because it actually has been pretty good since then, for sure. The quest that I have to unlock next is in for Garuda Awakening. God dang it. Of course they had to do that. That's good stuff. Anyway, I had a good time. I don't know. I'm gonna go chill out for the rest of the day. I gotta do some more like errands and stuff and clean a little bit around the house and whatnot. But yeah, I hope everyone, all 2 of you, have a great rest of your day. All 2 or 3 of you, 4 of you, maybe, possibly. Anyway, thanks everyone. Got the Discord links pinned in chat, both YouTube and Twitch chat. And I will be back probably Friday or Saturday. One of those days. Either of those days, we'll see. But yeah. All right. Thanks everyone. I will catch you next time. I'm gonna try. I'm seriously. I'm gonna try to work on a video. I mean, like, you know, we'll see. But yeah. All right. Have a good one. Until next time. Stay healthy. Stay hydrated. Peace.